Old Farmer Briggs lived a quiet life. Just him and his loyal dog, Rusty, on a sprawling farm that had been in his family for generations. Every morning, they'd walk the fields together, Rusty's tail wagging like a metronome, a constant, happy rhythm to Briggs's solitary days. But one morning, that rhythm was gone. Briggs called for Rusty, but the dog didn't come bounding over as he usually did. A knot of unease tightened in the old farmer's stomach. He set out to search, his calls echoing across the empty fields. After what felt like an eternity, Briggs spotted a familiar patch of reddish-brown fur near the old oak tree at the edge of his property. As he got closer, a strange sound reached him, a soft, mournful whimpering. It was Rusty. The dog was lying by a small, weathered stone marker, almost completely hidden by overgrown grass. His head was resting on his paws, and his body trembled with soft sobs. Briggs had walked this land 1,000 times, but he'd never noticed this marker before. Confused and worried, Briggs knelt beside his friend. "What is it, boy? What have you found?" He gently patted Rusty's back, trying to soothe him. The dog just looked up at him with the saddest eyes Briggs had ever seen, then nudged his head toward the stone. Briggs carefully cleared away the grass and dirt. Faint, hand-carved letters began to appear. He squinted, tracing the words with his finger. What he read sent a shiver down his spine. The inscription said, "Here lies a loyal friend." Briggs was stunned. Who could have put this here? And why was Rusty so distraught? The marker looked ancient, as if it had been there for decades. He tried to coax Rusty away, but the dog refused to budge, letting out another heart-wrenching cry. It was as if he was grieving for whoever or whatever lay beneath the stone. Briggs felt a growing sense of mystery and sadness. This wasn't just a random spot. It meant something profound to his dog, and he was determined to find out why. The old farmer spent the rest of the day in a haze, his mind racing. That evening, he sat in his worn-out armchair, Rusty still unusually quiet at his feet. He pulled out an old, dusty photo album, a relic from his parents' time. He flipped through the black and white pages, seeing faces from a bygone era. Suddenly, he stopped. A photograph showed a young boy, who looked remarkably like his own father as a child, standing proudly next to a dog. The dog was a scruffy terrier mix with a distinctive patch of white fur over one eye. Briggs's heart skipped a beat. He remembered his father telling him stories about his childhood dog, a faithful companion named Patch. They were inseparable, he'd said. His father had been devastated when Patch passed away unexpectedly. He'd buried him under their favorite oak tree at the edge of the farm, the old oak tree. The realization hit Briggs like a physical blow. The lonely marker, the one Rusty had found, must be for Patch. But that didn't explain Rusty's behavior. How could his dog possibly know about another dog who lived and died almost 70 years ago? It seemed impossible. Was it just a coincidence? Or was something deeper, something inexplicable, at play? Briggs looked down at Rusty, who was now staring intently at the photograph, as if he recognized the dog in the picture. A strange, almost supernatural thought crossed Briggs's mind. Could it be? The next morning, driven by a need for answers, Briggs called his elderly aunt, his father's only living sibling. He described the marker and Rusty's strange behavior. There was a long silence on the other end of the line. When his aunt finally spoke, her voice was thick with emotion. She confirmed that the marker was indeed for Patch. Then, she told him something that made the world stand still. She said that his father, on the day he buried Patch, had made a solemn vow at the grave. He had whispered, "One day, old friend, you'll come back to me." As his aunt's words sank in, Briggs looked at Rusty in a whole new light. He remembered the day he'd found him, a stray puppy huddled by the side of the road, looking lost and alone. There was an instant connection, an unspoken understanding between them from the very first moment. He looked at Rusty's fur, the same reddish-brown color as Patch's, minus the white spot over the eye. He thought about Rusty's unwavering loyalty, his uncanny ability to know what Briggs was thinking before he even said it. It all started to click into place in a way that defied logic but felt undeniably true in his heart. His father had passed away years ago, but his love for his first dog, and his final wish, had somehow echoed through time. Briggs knelt down and wrapped his arms around Rusty, burying his face in his fur. Tears streamed down the old farmer's face, but they weren't tears of sadness. They were tears of overwhelming love and wonder. "It's you, isn't it?" he whispered, his voice cracking. "You came back." Rusty responded by licking away his tears. his tail giving a slow, gentle thump against the floor. At that moment, Briggs understood. Rusty wasn't just grieving for a long-lost dog. He was grieving for a life he once lived, for a boy he once loved. The truth didn't destroy Farmer Briggs. Instead, it pieced him back together. It filled the lonely corners of his life with a profound sense of connection, a love that transcended time itself. From that day on, their walks to the old oak tree were no longer just a routine. They were a pilgrimage, a quiet tribute to a bond that death could not break. And Farmer Briggs knew, with absolute certainty, that he was the luckiest man in the world. Thank you for watching. If this story touched your heart, please like, share, and subscribe for more content that explores the incredible bonds we share with our animal companions. We'll see you in the next video.